Hey guys, it's finally time. The Horror Man back with my entire updated Evil Dead collection. If you've been subscribed to my channel for years, then you know my Evil Dead collection is the pride and joy of my entire horror collection. Years ago, I uploaded a video showing my entire Evil Dead collection, but I haven't filmed one since. Well, that's about to change. If you thought it was excessive back then, wait until you see it now. In case you somehow forgot, The Evil Dead is my favorite horror film of all time, and I've added quite a few additions to my collection since the last video. So now, it's time for an update. I will be showing VHS tapes, DVDs, Blu-rays, posters, comics, collectibles, and other things. Of course, I don't own every edition of the Evil Dead films, but I'm still pretty proud of my collection. I will try to get through this as quickly as I can. So, here it is. My entire Evil Dead collection. I'm gonna start with the comics. I only have 2 of them. I have issue number 1 of Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. What an amazing movie that would have been. And the only other Evil Dead comic I have is The Evil Dead number 4. Great cover. And now I have 2 posters to show. First, I have this one here, which is framed. This is usually hanging right by my Evil Dead display. This was the reversible poster that came with the Evil Dead Ultimate Edition from Anchor Bay. So there's this side, and then the other side is that new art with the blue background and the plain white font. I prefer this one as sort of that original image, and I just like this one a lot more. And the other poster I always have displayed is this Captain Supermarket poster, which is, of course, a foreign version of Army of Darkness. I love how it says Bruce Campbell on the soup can. And now I'll show you some Evil Dead figures from Funko. Here is the Funko Mystery Mini of Ash with his chainsaw hand, as you can see. He's got blood on him there, pretty cool. I have about 4 or 5 of these, but they're really cool displayed on the shelf. Then we have the Ash from Army of Darkness Funko Pop. Again, he has the chainsaw hand there, and he also has his boomstick. And also the Deadite Funko Pop. And now, before we get to the actual movies, I have a few more random items from my Evil Dead collection to show you. This here is a custom-made Ashley J. Williams figure. A friend of mine had this made for me, and it's just awesome. As you can see, once again, he has the chainsaw hand, and just look at the detail in the box. It's like a classic style action figure. So incredible. These here are Evil Dead art cards. I got these at an old video store that was closing down in my area. They were pretty much used to put in place when someone rented the DVD. So if you went to rent Evil Dead 2 and the DVD was already being rented by someone else, this art card would be there in its place. I got a ton of these when the store closed, and I was fortunate to find all 3 of the original Evil Dead films. Of course, at the time, the Evil Dead Remake or Evil Dead 4, whatever you consider it to be, hadn't been released yet, so I have all 3 that were available. I have the PlayStation 2 game, Evil Dead, A Fistful of Boomstick. There was also a second PlayStation 2 game, I believe, but I do not own that one. Here is a random Army of Darkness art card. My I Support Ash tag, which I have shown in a past video. This is the Notebook of the Dead from Horror Block. My buddy Andrew from Andrew's Crypt recently sent me this in a package. Very cool. I also have a very special random item that I'm going to be saving for the end of this video. And now, I'll move on to the actual movies. But first, I have this Anchor Bay Entertainment Screamfest sampler. And the reason why this is included here is because it includes the Evil Dead trailer, as well as some scenes and clips from the movie. I have this Evil Dead spoof, Evil Dead Inbred Rednecks. Yep, Dumb by Dawn. You might be wondering what this is doing here. This DVD includes 3 movies, and one of them is the Bollywood version of The Evil Dead, Shaitani Ilaka. And I feel like Ash in Army of Darkness trying to pronounce that. Next up, I have here Evil Dead the Musical. And I love the artwork on the back. It has 4 classic musical posters merged with the Evil Dead. So we have Jersey Boys, and one of them is missing a head. Hairspray with a Deadite. Mamma Mia with a Deadite bride. And Les Miserables with a Deadite. Very cool. Then I have this copy of Within the Woods, which is of course the short film that inspired the original Evil Dead. This DVD also includes some other short films from Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell that have never been released. And here is another copy of Within the Woods. Great image there on the cover. And a third copy of Within the Woods. And this one was made with the best quality print available, which, to be honest, isn't that great. But hey, it's still watchable and very awesome to own. This here is really cool. It's the Evil Dead Treasures Collection. It includes yet another copy of Within the Woods, another copy of Evil Dead the Musical, and the ultra-rare Book of the Dead trailer. Book of the Dead was the original title of The Evil Dead, and this includes the original trailer produced for the film. It's pretty much just the Evil Dead trailer with a different title, but it was never released anywhere. So instead of the Evil Dead title showing up on screen, it says Book of the Dead. Very cool. All 3 of the features included on this set have never been officially released. Surprisingly, I only own Season 1 of Ash vs. Evil Dead on DVD. I do not have this on Blu-ray, and I do not have Season 2 or 3. And actually, I believe Season 3 was only released today. But even still, it's surprising. And now on to the actual movies. For real this time. I'll start with some VHS. Here is this VHS for The Evil Dead with this cover art. Then I have this VHS with this cover art. And I also have the limited edition VHS of The Evil Dead. As you can see, this is limited to 35,000, and I have number 21,516. I have just one Evil Dead 2 VHS. I've had this one forever. I have this Army of Darkness VHS. This Anchor Bay Army of Darkness VHS. And the limited edition director's cut of Army of Darkness on VHS in the gold case. And as you can see, this is limited to 50,000, and I have number 40,436. Now for the DVDs and Blu-rays, I'll just go from movie to movie. So first, with the original Evil Dead, we'll start with the Elite Entertainment DVD. This was the first DVD release of this film. Now, this is pretty cool. I've showed this in past videos. As you can see the disc there, notice how DVD looks. All right? The big mystery here. Then here's another copy of the same edition, as you can see, but now look how DVD looks there. So technically they were different pressings, I guess, and it's just interesting that they changed that DVD logo on the discs. But I'm such an obsessive compulsive perfectionist that I needed to have both. And if that weren't bad enough, I also have this one because this one came in a clear case. I actually bought this one new in a clear case too, so it wasn't a case swap. And now for the Anchor Bay jewel case editions of The Evil Dead. We have this one here. I've shown all of these before actually, but I'll show them again. We have this one here. This one here. This one. And this one. And as I've shown before, if you hold them like this at the spines, notice the letters. It spells out Devil, D-E-V-I-L, or of course, you can spell out Evil D. And in case anybody is wondering, this one right here, the D spine, is the rarest of them all. I also have an extra factory sealed copy of the E spine. And here is an extremely rare edition of the Evil Dead. This is the Anchor Bay Lunchbox edition. As you see, it comes in a nice tin lunchbox. Pretty cool artwork all around. And this one is pretty much one of a kind. I have it signed by all 3 ladies of the Evil Dead. Open it up over here. And once again, it's that jewel case with the E spine. Here's the signature for Sarah York, Shelley, Betsy Baker, Linda, and Ellen Sandweiss, Cheryl. And now I have some more Anchor Bay editions of The Evil Dead. Here's the single disc DVD edition. And I do want to show you the disc for a reason. See there, it's Ash with a blue face. Remember that. Here's the Anchor Bay single disc edition in the green case. Again, same disc, Ash with the blue face. And now, the extremely rare Blockbuster exclusive edition of The Evil Dead. Now look at this disc. It's Ash with the red face. This edition included extra bonus features that weren't included on the other Anchor Bay edition. This was exclusive to only some Blockbuster stores. Only the corporate stores got this version. I was fortunate enough to find one, and it's definitely one of my rarest items in my Evil Dead collection. These barely ever pop up on eBay and Amazon, and when they do, they are extremely pricey. Here is a Canadian Anchor Bay edition of The Evil Dead. This is from the Horror Legacy series with this exclusive slipcover. They also released Evil Dead 2 as part of this Horror Legacy series with an exclusive slipcover that featured Ash being choked by his deadite hand. I do not own that one, but I really want it for my collection. So if anyone has it or anyone knows where I can get it for a good price, please help me out. Here's another DVD release from Anchor Bay. The disc art on this one, I believe, is just, it's just a simple silver disc with the title. Nothing special there. And another one. This one's in a white case. And then we have The Evil Dead Ultimate Edition from Anchor Bay. Open this one up. This is a really nice edition. Here's that folded poster I showed you earlier. This is not the exact poster, but this is what the poster came in. Also a booklet in there. Some different images. And the 3 different discs there. I always like that they included this image behind the disc, if I can get it out. Because this image was never included on any of the other releases, so I just thought that was a nice little bonus. I also have a spare copy of The Evil Dead Ultimate Edition, and even though it's a spare copy, it is a little different. This was a different pressing. As you can see, this one has more of a purplish tint to it, and this one is more of a blue. It's maybe not so obvious on camera, but in person, you can definitely see a difference. I have this Anchor Bay double feature, which includes The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. I'll show you the discs. Has that blue ash disc for Evil Dead and an Evil Dead 2 disc. And another double feature including The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. This one is an import. And there you go, there's the discs, The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Now some Blu-ray editions of The Evil Dead. Here's the limited edition from Anchor Bay. This is 2 discs. Disc 1 is the Blu-ray disc, and disc 2 is a bonus features DVD. and the limited edition in the green case. Both of these are very rare. Here's another Anchor Bay Blu-ray of The Evil Dead. Notice where it says from director Sam Raimi. And here's another Blu-ray from Anchor Bay. Notice it says Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead, and it's more yellow, whereas this one is more green. Yep. Once again, I am an OCD perfectionist, especially when it comes to collecting The Evil Dead. Here is the Anchor Bay Blu-ray Steelbook. There's the disc. And I also have a sealed copy with the limited edition collectible sticker. And I also have this Blu-ray Steelbook, which is, of course, an import, but it is all region. Here is a Blu-ray double feature with The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Once again, the two discs. And now on to Evil Dead 2. I'll start it off with the limited edition Anchor Bay tin. As you can see, I have two of them. These are limited to only 50,000. This is number 21,813. And this is number 17,639. I'll just open one of them up and show you what's inside. So let's see. So we have this art card here, the chapter selection, a little ad for Evil Dead Hail to the King, a pretty thick booklet with how the back says Groovy, and then, of course, the disc. Here is the original and first Anchor Bay DVD release, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, with the classic VHS cover art. That's what that disc looks like. We have the re-release of Evil Dead 2 from Anchor Bay. That's what that disc looks like. Same as the Anchor Bay tin. Here is the Lionsgate DVD release. The same disc used in the double feature I showed earlier. The Lionsgate release in a red case. Here is a Canadian DVD release. This one was from Alliance. And then Evil Dead 2, the Workprint Edition. This was never officially released. Some Evil Dead 2 Blu-rays now. This is the first Blu-ray release from Anchor Bay. This looks the same as the DVD. Here's the 25th Anniversary Edition from Lionsgate. This actually has the DVD and the Blu-ray. Here's another 25th Anniversary Edition. This one is in a red case. And the Canadian Edition, which is also a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. And this one comes with an exclusive slipcover. On to Army of Darkness now. Here is the original Universal DVD release. And then I also have a second pressing of that one. As you can see, the color scheme is a bit different. This is more of a brownish color scheme where it says widescreen, and this one is more of a reddish color scheme. Again, very subtle difference, and it's much more noticeable in person. And then this is a Canadian release, and while it does look the same, when you put it side by side, you'll notice the Canadian release does have a little a leaf there. So, I mean, obviously the number on there is different as well. And yeah, the color scheme again. This one says widescreen. This one is just sort of that red blank color there. But again, Another subtle difference. Did I mention my collection was excessive or what? Here's the Anchor Bay theatrical release of Army of Darkness on DVD. This is that disc. Here is an Anchor Bay limited edition 2-disc set. It includes both the theatrical cut as well as the director's cut. They were limited to only 4,000, and I have number 2,696. Here is the theatrical cut disc and the director's cut disc. There was also another Anchor Bay limited edition, and this one was limited to 30,000, and I have number 8,130. Here, both of them are side by side, limited to 30,000, limited to 4,000. Here's yet again another Anchor Bay limited edition, and this one only includes the director's cut. Some fantastic artwork as well. These were limited to 40,000, and I have number 19,716. Comes in a cool gold case, and there's the disc art. I also have a second copy of that limited edition. This is number 24,595 out of 40,000. Here is the official bootleg edition from Anchor Bay. Bruce Campbell vs. Army of Darkness, the director's cut. Yes, this was an official release from Anchor Bay. It's just made to look like a bootleg. I also have 2 copies of the Anchor Bay Bruce Campbell vs. Army of Darkness Boomstick Edition. Again, this includes 2 discs featuring both the theatrical cut and the director's cut. This here is the MGM Region 3 International cut of Army of Darkness. Here's the disc art on that one. Here's the Universal Screwhead Edition with the slipcover. Here's the Screwhead Edition in the cool blue case. I love how they got the blue case to match the blue in the actual cover art. Very cool. Here's the Army of Darkness Pop Art Series Edition with the slipcover. And I love how the artwork on the insert is also the same as the slipcover. So it's not just like they threw a random slipcover over the Screwhead Edition. It's actually different. But I can't say the same for this Walmart exclusive. It has this exclusive slipcover, but it's just the Screwhead Edition underneath. Still cool though. Here is a very rare HD DVD edition of Army of Darkness. I bet you don't remember seeing these too often. And here's an HD DVD combo format, which includes both the HD DVD version as well as the standard DVD version on one flipper disc. So one side is the standard DVD and the other side is the HD DVD. So yeah, how about that? Here is the Army of Darkness Screwhead Edition Universal Blu-ray. And here is the Army of Darkness Screwhead Edition Universal Blu-ray in the clear and blue case. I like how they did sort of a reverse there. You know, we have the blue and silver Blu-ray case and the clear and blue Blu-ray case. Here is the Scream Factory Collector's Edition of Army of Darkness, which includes all 4 versions of the film. This, I believe, was the first release that had the error discs. Yep, and I left the newly commissioned artwork on that insert. And then I also have a second copy with the fixed discs. And as you can see, I reversed the artwork on this one. So yeah, got the best of both worlds there. And then, of course, the Scream Factory Army of Darkness Steelbook. Is it just me, or does anyone else sense a cover art comparison video coming soon? And now the Evil Dead remake, or is it really a sequel? Here it is on DVD. Here's the DVD, but this one came in a yellow case. Here's the Blu-ray with the slipcover. Here's the Blu-ray in the black Blu-ray case. This is the Best Buy exclusive, which also came with a bonus disc. And I also have a sealed copy of it. As you can see, it says exclusive 25-minute bonus disc, Bruce Campbell interview and special effects featurette. And here is the Target exclusive Steelbook. And you guessed it, I also have a sealed copy of that. Over the top. I know. Believe me. Here is the Region 2 Anchor Bay Evil Dead Trilogy DVD box set. It includes Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness, and it's interesting that they titled it that way, and a bonus disc. This was also a limited edition, but I'm not sure how many were made. This is number 59,707. I pulled off the slip box and just open it up for you there, just to show you. Comes with a booklet there. Unfolds like that, and there are the 4 discs. And now for my Anchor Bay Book of the Dead editions. Here's the limited edition of the Evil Dead in the Book of the Dead. I still have this one in the plastic box that it came in. And I have one out of the box here. Interestingly, the one in the box is starting to split at the spine. I know most people are facing the same issue with their copy. And then the one that I kept out of the plastic is perfectly fine. So go figure. But I love the feeling of this thing. That's what it looks like inside. There's a booklet there. And then there's the disc. And here is my Evil Dead 2 in the Book of the Dead packaging. This was the special DiviMax series edition. The Book of the Dead 2 also comes in the Book of the Dead packaging. I'm not going to take this one out of the box, though. It's the same idea inside. You know, it looks like the book, and the disc is at the end. And this is supposed to have the screaming eye, but as you can see, unfortunately, it no longer works. And finally, I have this, the Evil Dead Anthology, which also comes in a giant Book of the Dead with a replica Kandarian dagger. This set includes all 4 Evil Dead films on Blu-ray, as well as 3 DVDs worth of bonus features. And one of the bonus features is the invaluable documentary about Tom Sullivan. Speaking of the Kandarian dagger and Tom Sullivan, I mentioned earlier in this video that I would be saving a very special item for the end. And well, here it is. This here is a full-size replica Kandarian dagger, made by Tom Sullivan himself. Yes, he actually designed it, sculpted it. This is his work. This was a gift from my wife for, I believe, our 1st anniversary, and it's absolutely amazing. I mean, look at this thing. It's heavy. And again, it's sculpted by the man himself. This is probably my most valuable item in my Evil Dead collection. And not necessarily by worth, even though technically it probably is, but because it also means the most to me. I love this thing. Just look at that detail. Look at the little face there. Wow, I mean, I cannot get enough of this thing. I can just stare at this thing and, it's incredible. I need to get like a nice display box for it. For the longest time, it's unfortunately been kept in the same box that Tom Sullivan shipped it in. You know, not because I didn't want to display it, but just because I don't have a large enough glass case to display it in. And I want this thing kept safe from dust and from being able to fall over and get damaged in any way. It's awesome. I should also mention I have a lot of Tom Sullivan's original art pieces signed by him, but they are currently in frames displayed on my walls upstairs, and I didn't want to take them down for this video. So, there it is, guys. Finally, my entire updated Evil Dead collection. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.